So Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. That director, oh yes, plans to make a twisted childhood horror universe with none other than Bambi, Peter Pan, and even more. And I quote, people have been messaging saying they really want to see Bambi versus Pooh. Goodness me, this sounds epic. This is a little bit old. This is courtesy of The Hollywood Reporter, sent to me over on Twitter by subscribers. So thank you so much. And also please do follow me over on Twitter at Missed Reviews. So obviously, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey is a... well, the rights for Winnie the Pooh are basically up, right? Copyright. Now, you can't use the exact Disney version of it, but you can do other bits and pieces surrounding it and be very, very careful. Now, that released, and it was like a viral storm. The trailer, the pictures. Look, it's very low budget, but it's fun. It's fun. I don't think anyone's going to say that this is going to be a good film, but it's fun. And some of this stuff, a bit of levity. I think it looks great from, on those remits anyway. So this interview was very, very interesting with The Hollywood Reporter. Very, very, very interesting. Now, the writer-director Rhys Frake Waterfield says he's planning to create an entire universe filled with bloodied, X-rated adaptations of beloved childhood stories. And you know what? I'm here for it. I'm absolutely here for it. The Hollywood Reporter states, and I quote, the filmmaker, who alongside producer Scott Jeffrey runs prolific low-budget horror banner Jagged Edge Productions, already revealed to The Hollywood Reporter last year that he was developing Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare, based on J.M. Barrie's book, but this time featuring a heavily obese Tinkerbell who's recovering from drugs. Jeffrey later unveiled that he'd set his sights on the world's most famous doe-eyed deer in Bambi The Reckoning, telling the Dread Central website that his Bambi would be a vicious killing machine. I'm guessing like out for revenge and blood due to, being made an orphan. There's some hilarious avenues you could go down with this stuff from a, like a horror perspective. So Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey's momentum has been insane. It's absolutely been crazy. Really, really, really crazy. It's going to be released on February 15th across 1,500 screens in the US and obviously a lot of international territories as well. I believe it's out in India at the moment. And it's amassed about $1 million. Pretty bloody good. Pretty good. There's already a sequel in development as well. And Rhys Frake Waterfield now tells The Hollywood Reporter that he's planning on bringing all of these once family-friendly characters and more into one universe. Oh yes, this will finally topple the MCU. No, of course it won't. Of course it won't. But it's funny. And he says, and I quote, the idea that we're going to try and imagine they're all in the same world so we can have crossovers. People have been messaging saying they really want to see Bambi versus Pooh. Although Frake Waterfield admits that the current crop of ideas, all available to merrily bludgeon, thanks to the original books having entered the public domain, sounds like a Disney alternative reality, with the studio having successfully adapted so many of the stories for the screen. He says that's not the intention. So it's not to be, like an upside down, a la Stranger Things version of Disney. It's not what he wants to do. He says, and I quote, there are many, many, many other ideas out there which aren't tied to Disney. Loads of old fairy tales and urban legends, concepts that are synonymous with your childhood, and they're the ones which I want to build up into a twisted alternative reality. I am so unbelievably down for this. Genuinely, absolutely unbelievably down for this. I mean, the fact that they're planning to do this Peter Pan with an obese recovering drug addict as Tinkerbell, just absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. And the budget for Winnie the Pooh has been tiny as well. It's not a big budget by any stretch of the imagination. Now, the feature itself, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, I believe it had around like a $30,000 mark. a little bit more than that, but not much. That's their usual markup, the jagged edge, banner. So they're going to make it for a little bit more, but not by much. Not by much at all. So they've made bank on this. Significant bank, actually. And I'm here for this. I'm absolutely here for this. I think this is funny. I think this will be really good. Just a good time. Just a good laugh. And I think, their tactic specifically, which he said in an old interview, was to purposely not watch any of Disney's Winnie the Pooh, because he didn't want any of that influencing his own version that he would write, basically. So that's good, because he didn't want, obviously, the lawyers to be like, whoa, it's not what we're doing. It's not what we're doing. At all. And obviously how they got around it, various elements there. But I can't wait for this. I think this is great. The sequel itself is going to go into production this year, next year, pretty close. And again, because they've already made money, this is like a done deal. So I ask you guys, what do you think about this? Like, honestly, what do you think about this? Especially the fact that, Bambi, Peter Pan, Neverland's Nightmare. I think that sounds utterly, utterly hilarious. Really, really, really hilarious. And the full quote that is pulled from, the heavily obese one, says, that world's got a lot of interesting elements we can have fun with. And you know what? Some of that does sound like a nightmare anyway. When you've got Peter Pan, the boys that never grow old. I mean, how could that traumatize you? There's so many elements there that could really mess a person up. And they say all the characters are meant to be really innocent. And when you think of Tinkerbell, she's this sweet, cute little fairy. But we're going to make her heavily obese and recovering from drugs. Gold. Absolutely golden. I'm so game for this. This is brilliant. But again, I hand it on over to you. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so let me know down below. This was released in Mexico. I don't think I got many Mexicans watching this channel, but if you have seen it, let me know. The Winnie the Pooh one, let me know. And if you'd like to see the others. Amazing that this is being done by a Brit as well. Yeah, man. Great. Great. Horror childhood characters. Yeah, I'm game for that. Again, under the full knowledge that it's shit, because it is absolute garbage, but in the best possible way. Cheers, guys. Take care.